Hey guys, Mandy Fraker. Didn't know the camera was on. Here to talk to you again about movies. As always, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share that shit. So, in our childhood, I'm sure most of us have tipped a few beers and smoked a few joints and have spent the majority of that time of our life pretending to not be intoxicated, not be high, not be drunk. So, but in the movies, they gotta pretend to be high and they gotta pretend to be drunk. To quote a famous music group, I get high with a little help from my friends and I get by with a little help from my friends. Well, in the movie making business, you get high with a little help from the prop guys. There's all different types of ways to get high or get drunk in a scene. One of the ways is when it comes to cocaine. Earlier in the video, you saw me sniffing something. You saw me sniffing this here. This is not cocaine, I swear. It is inositol powder, which is basically nothing more than a vitamin B supplement. It also happens to be something that they actually cut real cocaine with. So the reason why people do that is to not actually do real drugs. As I was saying in a prior video about fake cigarettes, it's an insurance company's worst nightmare to have guys smoking cigarettes on set, or gals smoking cigarettes on set. And when I Love Lucy was out, they smoked real cigarettes right there on set. There's nothing wrong with that, but since the 1980s you can't do that anymore, and drugs are, no exception. So that was inositol powder. Not only does that, I'm not allergic to that because I'm lactose intolerant. So one of the other things they do is either lactate or lactose powder, I believe, but that would have me going to the bathroom. So what I chose was the, inositol powder, and that actually gives you a little bit of a lift. And I don't want to say that it's safe to do, but it's not real drugs, kind of the lesser of two evils. There's a lot of movies that use stuff like this. American Gangster has things that stand in for heroin. Horrible Bosses, the movie Blow, they use various different things such as the lactate powder or the inositol. Then you have other scenes where smoking marijuana is part of the scene. So there have been rumors that in movies like Apocalypse Now, Platoon, they're smoking real weed. It's been rumored that they smoked real weed before the scene filmed and they ate all of the food that the caterers brought. And then when they got to the real scene, they could barely do it and they used fake marijuana. So what I was smoking there is something called Buddha Blend. So this particular package has like kava kava, whatever that is, jasmine flowers, mentha spicata, rosemary, lavender, and cinnamon. This is what they use to make essential oils. And then you can, you can burn it for a nice smell, or you can make tea with it, or whatever. Good thing about this is it has no tobacco in it and no nicotine. So they also roll cigarettes and joints with this for movies. So an actor like Liam Neeson, who doesn't actually smoke cigarettes anymore because he quit some time ago, is not about to pick up again for a few $1 million movie deal. So they smoke herbal cigarettes. So they call this herbal tobacco, or just like herbal smoking mixture. I mean, the description is great on this. It talks about that the effects of the blend will vary with each person depending upon their state of enlightenment. Mindfulness is the aware, balanced acceptance of the present experience. Presently, sorry to say I'm not feeling any of that, but also I only paid $6 for it. It's not the real thing. So that's another way to do that. Earlier you saw me take a shot of whiskey. What that really is just iced tea. That is what they most of the time use in movies. I'm assuming for vodka they use water. As far as shooting heroin, they various different types of powders. I've seen them. I think Trainspotting, they use a fake arm. In situations where somebody's real arm is used, they have like a retractable needle. So if you remember those knives when you were a kid that you stuck in and the blade went in, a little fake knife that you got for $3-4 for Halloween, they have syringes that work the very same way. So they have that. I also made fake crack cocaine. I don't know if you guys can see this here. I don't know if you can see that in the camera very well. What they do for that is crazy glue and I believe baking soda. The funny thing about this is as soon as I pour the crazy glue on this, it just starts sliding down, barely touches. It took me a while to get this. Crazy glue, I didn't know this, but the second it hits oxygen, I guess, I'm not Walter White, but it seems like the second it hits oxygen and I ooze it out of the tube, it gets very hot. burned my fingers a little bit. I also got 2 of my fingers stuck together. Fortunately, I separated them right away, but I still got all this crap on my fingers. So I don't know how they make big pieces of this for movies, but I tried. It was an experiment. I don't want to say I failed, but I kind of did. So that's crack cocaine. As far as like hash and stuff like that, I assume that they just use this Buddha blend type stuff or honey rose tobacco. That's not even really tobacco, I don't know why they call it that, but you can smoke it. My throat is actually a little hoarse right now from smoking this. It's probably not good for me, but I'm just going to throw this shit away when I'm done. And then you got mushrooms. I believe they get like fungus. I read somewhere they get like fungus from like Chinatown in New York that, you know, looks like mushrooms. I don't know if the guys really eat them or not. I know in some scenes they'll actually like, you know, use like CGI or whatever and like add smoke coming out of somebody's mouth as like a special effect for somewhere where somebody's not actually smoking. I know it's TV, but for Breaking Bad they have like this blue colored resin, like with a bluish hue to it, that they use for the crystal meth scenes where they're, you know, opening a bag of meth or whatever, handling meth in any way or whatever the case may be. So yeah, man, that's my video on drugs. I haven't seen a lot of videos like this, but again, I'm using Buddha blend and inositol powder and everyday average iced tea. I believe I use Pure Leaf, doesn't have any sugar in it. So that's all I got for you today, guys, man. So say no to drugs, and if you know somebody with a drug problem, please dial this number and get them some help. And just please understand that this video is not to glamorize drug or alcohol use or abuse. It's simply just to show you what it's like behind the scenes, as far as I can see, when it comes to movies. So please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share that shit. Have a great day, guys.